Good evening, friends, and sorry for the delay and some confusion today. Uh, we today have picked up a very relevant topic, which is daily shop floor management. And several people have so far, asked me this question: that what is the shop floor management? Who manages shop floor? Can you and how do you apply the lean concepts on the shop floor? And most of the people, always say that they are always busy firefighting on the shop floor. Is there a way to come out of it? So shop floor is, a very highly discussed subject, and some are concerned about the productivity. Few people are concerned about the ongoing issues, people and resource management, wastage, and others. And some are bothered about even the flow and pace of the production, work standardization, and so on and so forth. Okay. So today we will discuss all this and certain related areas to this. Let me share the screen so that we can move forward. Okay. So there are lakhs and crores of the manufacturing and processing businesses around the world. The shop floor is always an integral part of these businesses where the real action takes place. And a shop floor is responsible to bring out the tangible, usable, and superior quality product as per the specification. That's how we usually define the shop floor. Okay. So let's learn all this in context to a large manufacturing shop floor. So we'll talk about a company called Acme Manufacturing Limited, which is into manufacturing the gearboxes for earth moving equipment. They have 3 large production and assembly lines, and they handle around 15 varieties of the gearboxes for large number of the customers. Okay. They employ 1,500 workers and run the 3 shifts of operation. And very recently, they have appointed a production manager who has 30 plus years of the manufacturing experience. Okay. So Acme Manufacturing Limited wants to avoid the shipment delays, constant firefighting which is happening on their shop floor to meet the commitments, and develop a smooth flow of production and reduce the wastages. So there's the company in which reference we are going to today, have this webinar. So before we start with this whole Acme Manufacturing Limited case study, let us also try to understand what is a shop floor. We will also talk about what is to be managed on the shop floor, how do you manage it, and we will also touch upon some shop floor metrics to monitor on the shop floor. Okay. So before we start again with the Acme Manufacturing, let's understand what is the shop floor. In simple terms, shop floor is an area in a manufacturing facility where assembly or production is carried out either by an automated system or by workers or a combination of both. The shop floor may include equipment, inventory, and even the storage areas. Shop floor may have 1 or more assembly lines, processing equipment, material handling system, and so on and so forth. That's how we normally define a shop floor. And this is a view of a large company, a shop floor over there. Okay. Further, shop floor is also a place where the design specifications are referred, machinery and manufacturing equipment are employed for production, parts are assembled, or sometimes even the raw material is produced. Okay. So the shop floor is responsible to produce an intermediate or a final product. And intermediate could be a part, component, sub-assembly, it could be anything, right? Which is not a final product yet. So that's what we call intermediate. So this is about a shop floor. Okay. Let's also look into the type of the shop floors, and we will generalize over here. So shop floor could be from the product quantity perspective to handle either small volume production or mass production. Okay. Shop floors are also designed from the process perspective to support either assembly, analytical, synthetic, or processing activities. Now, if I take the analytical process, it would involve, let's say, breaking of a basic raw material into components which can be used independently. So, example, a refinery would break down the crude oil to get the aviation fuel, petrol, diesel, etc. That's an analytical process over here. Okay. Shop floors are also laid out either for the job shop, which is project-based or work order-based, or for process flow angle, which is where you have a continuous manufacturing happening on a mass production basis. So this is how we normally define the floor types over here, shop floor types over here. A quick orientation to the shop floor layouts. This one which we are showing over here is an assembly or product oriented layout, and this is designed in a linear fashion. The next one which we have is a process oriented layout where a group of machines and tools that perform similar or all functions required to complete a single stage in a process are placed together in this layout. Okay. So let's understand what is shop floor management, because shop floor management is concerned with several activities that enhance the shop floor efficiency. Okay. So keeping it simple, shop floor management shows us the ways to economically manufacture products of certain value and quality in certain volume and a certain time period. Okay. The process and practices involved in shop floor management help in containing wastage, costs, and standardizing work to ensure the timely delivery against the committed quality and quantity consistently. This is also about shop floor management overall is also about developing and controlling a management system and a physical system. Okay. So management system would focus on the organization involving people largely, procedures, information, and management technique, whereas the physical system would focus on plant, building, and machinery, production methods, and even the transportation and delivery methods. So that's how we distinguish between the shop floor management, one from the management and second from the physical system. And once you have these management and physical controls in place, it becomes very easy to manage the shop floor. Okay. Let's look at some of the objectives of having a shop floor management. Why do we want to have the shop floor management? So first objective, routing and movement of the material on shop floor appropriately. Second is, how do we sequence the procedures and processes taking place on the shop floor? Third, how do we schedule the workforce, resources, and operations? Fourth, finding the deviation from standard procedures and processes, which is very important. And the fifth one is identifying the loopholes in the shop floor communication. Now, these are very important factors, and these are the reasons why we want to do the shop floor management. Even if the communication is not happening properly between the management and the workers or among the operators, the production can be disturbed badly. And if there is a deviation from the standard procedures and processes, it can lead to substandard manufacturing or maybe even the delays into the manufacturing. Okay. Now, taking a context back of our Acme manufacturing, the new production manager whom we have hired over here, he would want to focus out on all these objectives, because all of these objectives can impact the delivery schedules, and that's a major constraint to the Acme manufacturing. Okay, so if you have a good shop floor management system, what are the benefits? So first benefit is that it increases the operational efficiency because it uses the standardization of operations. And second, it helps in reduction in occurrences of errors in the work. Lesser number of errors occur if there is a standardization of the operations. And it also identifies and reveals the loopholes in the production of processes, which again you can take corrective steps over here. All this always leads to the increase in productivity of the staff, and if all these things are happening by default, there is a positive impact on the revenue of a manufacturing business. So these are the benefits of having a good shop floor management system in any company over here. Okay. Let's also understand the role of a manager who has to carry out the effective shop floor management in context. And let's again take a reference of the production manager over here. So production manager essentially has to perform certain roles. Let's look into what are they. Now, production manager has to, ensure, and he also knows well with his long and rich experience, that until and unless he facilitates the decision-making process at the lowest possible level of the organization, things will not move fast. And I think in the previous webinars, we have also said, and we have also talked about that the planning should be centralized, with inputs from all stakeholders, but the decision making should be decentralized on the shop floor. Okay? So because this enables the effective and fast turnaround response to a situation. Second, a manager or supervisor must, lead the problem-solving activities in a multi-skilled and cross-functional team environment. This is also very important. This enables the effective and fast turnaround response to a particular situation. Okay. The third thing is that the manager also has to ensure that for everything there is a well-defined standard process. So a manager's role essentially on a shop floor management will center around these three principles. Decision making at the lowest possible level of the organization. He has to facilitate that. He has to lead the problem solving activities in a multi-skilled cross-functional team environment. And he has to ensure or assure a well-defined standard process. Okay? So that's a manager's role into the shop floor management. Okay? Now, if a production manager wants to ensure that his team of managers and supervisors know what to ask if something goes wrong, then he also should, ensure that there are certain levels of questioning which is happening on a regular basis on the shop floor. If something has gone wrong, manager or his team must go around and ask that what went wrong, what is acceptable and what is not acceptable. Did we have a process for this particular situation? Did we follow the process? Was there a problem with the process, or the problem occurred because we did not follow the process that we should? Okay? So there are several things which the manager on the shop floor must ask, and that is what will reveal a lot of things to him. So it's the inquisitive nature of the manager taking a structured questioning technique which will help him to find out what is happening and what is not happening. Okay. Remember that when it comes down to the shop floor or manufacturing, the life in manufacturing is always going to consist of solving problems and implementing the solutions. Okay. Problems will consistently remain there, and you have to consistently find the right kind of the solutions and one by one keep on eliminating them. Okay. So that's again a very important role for the manager. Our production manager over here in reference has got a lot of experience, and he has learned the lean. So what he wants to do is he wants to do the same thing. He wants to implement the lean practices even at the Acme manufacturing to address their problems. Okay. He knows that when properly used and applied, lean transformation will lead any company to higher profits, greater business success, stability, growth, and profitability. Okay. Lean transformation is also a cultural change. It takes time and internal acceptance to build the right culture. So the manager has to very diligently work upon implementing the lean culture and bring around a change of the culture into the organization to take it forward. Okay. What is lean transformation? Lean transformation is essentially a practical management system which is based upon the Toyota production system philosophy, and where we say customer is first, people are the most valuable resources, Kaizen, the continuous improvement that has to go on, and remain shop floor focused using Gemba. Okay. So that's a lean transformation as a TPS suggestion. It is also a collection of best knows or the best knowledges. Okay. Which are those best knowledges? The business philosophies, operating principles, lean tools, and lean methodologies. Okay. So a combination of these practical management systems and collection of best knows is what combines together as a lean transformation. And that's what our production manager wants to implement out onto the shop floor management over here. Okay. So having understood the basics of what is the shop floor, what are the types of the shop floor, what do you need to do, to manage this, what shop floor manager should do. Let's also understand that what do you need to manage? What can you manage rather? Okay. So if we look, basic duties of any shop floor personnel or managers are to direct and manage resources and processes so that the company's quality, delivery, and cost plans and goals are achieved. Okay. Shop floor management are nothing but daily activities performed on regular and frequent basis to address and prevent any existing or current or any potential problems related to availability and performance of equipment, material, people, information, and methods. Okay. Production manager has to, look into all these things. And in our case, our person decides to take three main steps to identify what has to be managed in the Acme manufacturing. Okay. So first thing, first step into getting into shop floor management, especially for a new production manager, is always that you have to understand what are the current processes happening on your shop floor. You just can't parachute in and say that I want to change everything, because things are already happening. You can only bring in the incremental and the correct changes, but you can't just, trash everything and restart from the beginning. So our person starts with the 7 areas, and the first area which he focuses upon to understand the current systems is safety. He wants to understand the safety requirements in existence. Is it a safe place to operate? Is everybody following the safety regulations? That's the first area which he focuses upon. The second area which he focuses upon is what is the work cell? Okay. He wants to understand and he wants to identify the cell layouts, number of machines and their functions, identification of number of operators and their responsibilities. He wants to understand the whole flow, the whole way in which the work is organized onto the shop floor. So that's why he wants to understand the work cell over here. Third, he wants to understand the manufacturing process. Okay. What type of gears are being manufactured and assembled in this particular work cell? What is the flow of work? What is the flow of the information? What kind of the manufacturing systems are put in place, and so on and so forth. So that's the third area which he wants to understand on the shop floor. Okay. Fourth, he seeks out what kind of the visual management is in place and is it operating properly. Okay. He wants to review them for the simplicity and easy to understand, as well as whether they are being followed by everybody on the shop floor. Okay. If you have a good visual management, it would cover the key control indicators for the safety, quality, delivery, productivity, cost, and people. So he wants to review the existence of the visual management system. Okay. And since this is all about managing the shop floor, stability of the resources, method, processes, and machines, that becomes very important. So it is important that there is some kind of a workplace organization method like 5S, so that the shop floor is stable. So again, he wants to review that what kind of the workplace organization methods have been implemented in Acme manufacturing. Okay. Sixth point, he's curious about how the information is communicated to the operators, and is there any common information center where this information is put up, and what are the communication mechanisms of letting it know to the operators, how the details are shared out with everybody involved into the manufacturing operation. Okay. The last area of understanding is that how the work cells are managed. That is, he wants to understand how the work cells are operating, how people identify the problems, if the work cell management in such a way that if there is any kind of a problem, it is becoming visible, people are able to recognize that quickly, and the concerned supervisor is able to immediately address it out. So that's the seventh area which he wants to understand. So safety, work cell, manufacturing processes, visual management, workplace organizations, information flow, and work cell management. These are the 7 areas where he focuses to understand the existing and current processes on the shop floor. Okay. So this is the process number 1, which he goes through. The second important area is that for any leader or any lean leader, what is important is that you should be able to go and see and ask why, and also show the respect for the people who are working. These are the 3 principles on which lean leadership is built around. Okay. Now, if you have go and see, what do you go and see? Okay. What do you ask? So what is important over here is that in any manufacturing over a period of time, wastage generation starts taking root. Certain, wastages happen as a habit, as a part of a process, and so on and so forth. And sometimes even the flow also gets disturbed. So it's very important that whoever is the leader on the shop floor or the manager of the shop floor, he has an eye for identifying the wastages, an eye for identifying the disruption to the flow of operation. Okay, so it's very important that while he is focusing on multiple things, our production manager also focuses on discovering if there are any kind of the chronic waste which are related to the standard 8 types of the lean waste. Okay, what are those lean waste? We'll just have a quick view on that. The 8 lean waste are defects, overproduction, waiting, unused talent, transportation, inventory, motion, and extra processing. Okay. I will not get into these 8 wastages right now, but these are the 8 wastages which do happen on any shop floor. And that's what our production manager has to monitor and find out that whether any of these wastages are happening and in what level and to what quantity. Okay. Now, the other thing which he will also look into is that he has to focus on the type of the work being done. Whatever work we do, it has to be value-added work, because that's what increases the value of the product from the customer's point of view. And if you are doing any incidental work which does not have any value attached to it, but rather has a cost, we should work upon minimizing that. Okay? If we have a higher value-added operation in completed work, then it brings the high level of the production efficiencies. So if you see over here also in the green, there is a value-added work, there is some kind of a waste or Buddha, and then there is some kind of the non-value-added work. So our goal has to be, or our production manager's goal has to be, to identify that what are the non-value-added works and the waste and try to minimize them. So he has to have an eye for the wastage and identify that. Okay. The next focus as part of the eye for wastage and flow would be on the flow of production. So production managers should see if there are noticeable stops in movement of operations or movement of products and material, and whether the machines are working full-time properly or not. Okay. Elimination of stops and waiting time in a process is always a major concern of any shop floor manager. Okay. The shop floor manager would always want to have the time for any individual person or an item to move from the start to finish of the process in the shortest possible way. Okay. Flow is all about how people, information, and materials move and interact with each other from the start to end of the production process. Okay. The third area of focus would be the pace of production. You have to know whether the tech time is visible and is everybody following a pace of production. Okay. So what is tech time? Tech time is essentially a maximum amount of time in which a product needs to be produced in order to satisfy the customer demand. Okay. And we normally say tech time is scheduled production time in seconds divided by the total customer requirements. Okay. What does tech time do? Tech time essentially creates a pulse or a rhythm across all manufacturing processes in a business and synchronizes issues among the processes to ensure the continuous flow of production and utilization of capacity. Once the pace or tech has been determined, the next major step is to design a system that flows product at the same rhythm to that tech. Okay. So our shop floor manager now focuses to determine if there is a standardized work in place and do operators follow the standardized work. Okay. And the other thing which he focuses is that are there parts presentation. Now parts presentation means that it's a well-defined standard in process stock. Okay. If parts presentation method is existing, then whether it is controlled, and if there is a problem with the material, then what are the steps being taken to manage it. Okay. Let's understand, what is this parts presentation. This basically is standard work in progress. Okay. And this is standard work in progress inventory. It allows operator to do his job continuously in a set sequence, repeating the same operation in the same order. and it prohibits also operator from overproducing and requires him to produce what is needed, when it is needed, and in the amount it is needed. If the parts are not available in time, the production will be hampered. And if there are too many parts lying around over there may be even overproduction which may take place. So the right work in progress standardized quantity has to be maintained on the shop floor. Okay. Remember, whenever we talk about the lean, lean is not about the inventory reduction, but lean is about identifying how much inventory I need to operate, how much inventory I need to operate efficiently and effectively. Okay. So this is what we apply through the standard WIP or the parts presentation approach. Okay. The next area which our production manager focuses on is JIDOKO. Okay. And this is all about, is there a process for troubleshooting any potential problem? How do you operate? How do operators call for help? Is there a process for that? JIDOKO is nothing but, a automation in a way where automation helps you to stop the production in case there is a trouble on the production line. And if the system automatically stops and there is a trouble on the production line, then it can help you to immediately resolve the problem. So that's the JIDOKO. The last detail which it looks up into is the schedule attainment. Is the factory producing behind the schedule? Do the people carry a sense of urgency? Do we need a visual management support to achieve the schedule? These are the other areas which it looks around and sees if these systems are existing in the shop floor. So again, back over here, shop floor manager has to look around and identify if there is a wastage happening on the shop floor, if the flow of the production is smooth or not, pace of the production is being maintained as per the takt time defined, and it is moving with a rhythm. The work has been standardized. The standard work in progress inventory is available. There is a JIDOKO or automation system available to prevent the mishaps, and whether the schedule is being maintained and being followed for the commitments to the customer. So a shop floor manager has to have an eye for these kind of the areas and use them to manage the shop floor. So that's a second area. The third area with the production manager, sorry, before I go into that, these are some of the production electronic status boards which can be used even to find out whether you are behind the schedule or you are on the track, and if you're behind the schedule, how much behind you are, so that you can take the corrective actions. Okay. So the third area which the production manager focuses upon is to review how much work is standardized. Okay. So first item on his list to review is that does the team hold the daily team meetings on the shop floor? Okay. Whether they are conducted or not, who leads them, what is discussed in these daily team meetings, and how long do they last? Are the team meetings happening for 2 hours, or they're getting over in 10 minutes, 15 minutes? I mean, all these details he wants to understand and then see that how to improve upon it. Okay. Second, he would focus upon the management walkabouts. He would always want to know, or it is always good to know, that whether the daily management walkabouts process is taking place or not. Is there a schedule? Is there an agenda for this management walkabouts? And who is doing these kind of the walkabouts? Third thing, has the management established key performance indicators, and have they been all defined for all the levels of organization? And whatever the KPIs have been identified, where they are easy to understand and to follow. Okay. So the fourth area he focuses upon is how does the Acme manufacturing shop floor team deals with the abnormal situation. These abnormal situations could be anything like breakdowns, could be the part shortage, could be a quality issue faced, could be the attendance, people not following the standardized work, and so on and so forth. Any of these things would require troubleshooting that abnormal situation. So what is the process for that, and does Acme manufacturing follow a standard method of dealing with the abnormal situations? Okay. Troubleshooting by default is part of the daily shop floor management, and you have to develop the good troubleshooting skills troubleshooting skills into the leaders on the shop floor or the supervisors on the shop floor. Okay, and if you don't have the adequate time and visual management, then you will always be spending more time and efforts in trying to figure out that where the abnormalities have happened and where the troubleshooting needs to be done. So it's also important that you have good kind of the visual management systems, which will also be able to signal the abnormalities taking place. Okay? And it is also very important that you troubleshoot it immediately. You don't push the issues to be resolved at a later date. The next point which he focuses upon is the deviation from the norms. Okay. This happens on the shop floor, and it is important to address the chronic and repetitive problems. Okay. People would deviate from whatever the standards have been identified, and you should be able to arrest that deviation immediately. If you don't arrest, then again it will lead to a lot of substandard productions or mishaps into the productions. So it's very important that you have a process to address the deviations from the standards and the norms established. Okay. Shop floor managers, they need to have the practical problem solving process and skills, and they should also carry out the root cause analysis to solve the problem completely and effectively. Okay. Gemba box, they must be conducted randomly to understand the process or a problem or a situation. The problems identified must be addressed immediately again, and continuous improvement, which is known as Kaizen in the Lean, which is a long-term approach to work. And the Kaizen is something which will always be able to help you systematically achieve the small incremental changes in process, and that helps to improve the efficiency and the quality of the shop floor. So that's another thing which the shop floor manager should look out, that how to implement the Kaizens following the Gemba box. And also you should find out, or you should see whether your organization is aiming for the operation excellence. If there is an operational excellence program in place, then that will be wonderful. In that case, the Gemba box, the various QC tools, quality circles, various work standardizations, all these things will start coming into the place. So this is what the shop floor manager has to understand and try to understand them to a level so that he can plan out his strategies to improve the shop floor management in Acme manufacturing. Okay. Once again, to summarize, to have a better shop floor management, it is very imperative that the production manager looks into these three things. First, he must understand the existing process. Second, he must have the eye for the wastage and eye for the flow. And third, he should look for the evidences of the standardization of the work. These are the three, kind of the core principles for managing any kind of a shop floor effectively. Okay. Now, before we go into the managing the shop floor, after having understood these three basic processes of shop floor management, let's also define the wastage. Let's also understand the qualities which a shop floor leader would require. Okay. Number one, he must have the knowledge of work. He must know how to perform the job very well. Okay. He must be very clear that what he has to do and who has to do and by when. So knowledge of responsibility is very important for a leader on the shop floor. He must have a skills in instructing. He should know how to instruct the employees in such a way that the employees understand it well and they can do their job correctly. He should have the skills in improvement. He must know how to improve upon whatever has been done and how he can do it better. And obviously, he should have the leadership skills in terms of the behavior and motivation. So these are the things which a leader on the shop floor must have. Okay. If he understands the first three principles and he has these five skills over here, then he can manage the shop floor very well. Okay. So now let's try to understand that how the shop floor can be managed by the production manager. And to manage the shop floor, there are two types of the activities which happen. One is daily shop floor management, and second is the shop floor continuous management. Uh, you have to continue to ensure that whatever the shop floor is doing, whatever activities are taking place, they do continue to happen in a regular, structured, and efficient manner. And small problems occurring in that on a regular basis, on a daily basis, have to be taken care of. And while you are ensuring that the production flow is happening, there is a continuous delivery which is going on. You are also focusing upon the continuous improvements so that you can deliver better and faster. So these both the things on the shop floor go hand in hand. Let's understand that a bit more in detail. So daily shop floor management would require the use of tools like the workplace organization, which could be using the 5S, okay, visual management, information centers or the production boards, and then standardized work for the leaders. Okay. The daily activities need to be regulated and they need to be managed for their effectiveness and efficiencies. And to do that particular thing, to do so, the shop floor manager can use methodologies like daily team meetings, daily management walkabouts, support teams involved in all these implementations, Gemba walks, and so on and so forth. There are a large number of the tools which can be utilized over here. All these methodologies and tools, they help a shop floor manager to keep a tab on the planned work and schedules, and also identify or flag any abnormal situation which should be addressed. Okay. So that's about the daily shop floor management over here. Okay. The shop floor continuous improvement, one has to always continuously improve upon what has been achieved, and that is why a leader has to focus on this continuous improvement activities. He can use the tools like the value stream mapping, plan, do, check, act method approach, practical problem solving tools, A3 reports, and so on and so forth. Okay. He could use methodologies like standardization of work, performing Kaizens and quality circles, improvement kata, set up time improvement changes, and so on and so forth. Okay. Goal is to keep improving. We will discuss all these tools which we mentioned into the daily management and the continuous improvement in detail in the later webinars, because all these tools would require some time to understand, and given a short period, we can't talk about all of them right now. But we will get into the details into the subsequent webinars over there. These are all lean tools, and they all are applied on the regular basis to manage the shop floor. Okay. Another important part onto the shop floor is training. It's a very crucial element of the shop floor management. Okay. Every new employee must be formally inducted and oriented in the company rules and regulations, do's and don'ts. He must be oriented on the safety rules, precautions, and the existing systems of the company. Each shop floor employee must be taught about the operations and activity norms for each operation and job role he has to perform. And any improvement brought in process or method via either Kaizens or quality circles or anything else, it should be percolated to everybody involved via the 1-point lessons method. Okay. Toolbox meetings must be regularly held, focusing on the operational safety. 5S and visual management and other lean tool training must be given to everybody. People must know that what are these tools and how to use them. And continuous improvement activities like how to do the Kaizens, how to carry out the quality circles, how to analyze the problems, how to do the Kappa and RCA and so on and so forth. They all must be taught to everybody, and so that everybody is proficient to carry out these activities and continuously improve upon. Okay. We will briefly touch upon the various shop floor metrics which you can also establish, and if you have a good set of the shop floor metrics, they will also help you to manage your shop floor, because they will tell you what is happening and what is not happening. So these metrics, some of the examples over here, normally we focus upon the safety, quality, delivery, productivity, cost, and people. I'll just name some of the metrics which can be defined over here. In safety, we could talk about the number of near misses, number of accidents, number of consecutive days without an accident, In quality, we can talk about the scrap generated, process defect rates, reworks, repairs, process capability, and so on and so forth. Delivery, we can talk about the schedule attainment, quantity, date and sequence, utilization rate, delivery date, fulfillment rate, daily delivery rate, delay rate, and so on and so forth. In the productivity, we can have the metrics towards quantity produced per unit time or per man hours, lead times, number of time each unit is handled by the operator, machine downtime, and so on and so forth. Cost, we could look into the material cost, labor cost, expenses, cost per unit, cost of quality, cost of good quality. We can look into those costing factors. The people metrics could be attendance rate, participation to daily meetings, number of submitted suggestions, job rotations, training, standardized work, participation in problem solving and movement improvement activities, and so on and so forth. So you can establish a lot of these kind of the metrics, and these metrics will also help you to understand that what is happening on the shop floor, and shop floor manager then can take the corrective action based upon this information. Okay. So if I try to summarize overall, our production manager, having looked into the various things, he sets around 6 commandments for his team to improve the shop floor management. And the 6 commandments which he puts up, which can be the common commandments for any kind of the shop floor management, any kind of industry, are: number 1, make sure that the systems are working properly and according to plans. Take immediate corrective actions to restore the system to proper function. Do not wait at all for the problem to go away or to solve the problem over a period of time. Take immediate corrective actions. Focus on the daily performance. The shop floor management is all about the last 24 hours. It's not about the past 7 days or the 30 days or past 1 hour. Cumulative past 24 hours is what we focus upon. So you have to focus on the daily performance. Solve the problem now. Get out of the firefighting mode and control the performance. Okay, you just cannot wish that the problem will go away. If you do so, the firefighting actually increases. So it's very important that you address the problems as they occur, and slowly by that you start getting into a controlled performance environment. Walk, stop, look, listen, and then ask questions. It's very important that the shop floor managers take a walk on the shop floor, whether you do the management walkabouts or you do the Gemba walks, whatever way. You have to walk around, you have to stop and look around, you have to see what is happening, you have to listen to your people, try to understand what is happening, and then ask the questions so that you can understand the problem and then start addressing it. If something is not right, again and again, this commandment will keep coming back. Correct the problem immediately. Okay, do not walk by it without taking any action. Do not add it to a to-do list. Correct the problem. So again, if you would see over here, shop floor management is all about immediately taking the right action, not delaying the corrective action, and always, remaining open to find out that what else can be improved upon and how. So that is what, our shop floor manager also talks about over here. Okay. So if we, take a conclusion or summarize that what we talked about, shop floor management would involve management on the site in production, communication at the eye level with the employees. Okay. He has to have, there has to be a good visualization which shows the production systems and the status, utilizing various factors over here. There has to be structured problem solving, and if possible, the employees should be solving the problems independently. There should be continuous improvement process. There should be lean culture into it, and overall, one has to be very clear that what has to be managed, understand the current process, have eye for the wastage and flow, manage the daily operation, and ensure continuous improvement on the shop floor. Okay. So this is what overall shop floor management is about. Shop floor management is actually a very vast subject, and while we can do generalization in terms of the tools and methodologies, its implementation will always vary based upon the type of manufacturing, shop floor types, and layouts and the size of operation. At Skilltelligent, we carry out a lot of shop floor management training, as well as we do a lot of implementation of the practices and processes. Aurum University and Skilltelligent can carry out the detailed training for your teams on the various tools and methodologies for improving the shop floor management. Okay. So this was a brief about what the shop floor management is all about. We will also take up the future webinars focusing upon the lean tools and the methodologies which can be leveraged for effective shop floor management, and probably that will be our next focus area. So that's all from my side. Thank you everyone for joining in. Kishore, I am done from my side. If there are any questions, then we can kind of take them up. Thank you everyone.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for such an informative presentation. Shop floor management, which is the most important aspect of the manufacturing unit, and the way you have presented it in a way, I think many of us will learn how do we keep our shop floor management, such a way so that we achieve the desired results or the schedules that we kind of, we'd like to achieve the desires. We have some questions coming in. I'll just read it out for you, sir. The first question comes here. It says, what is work cell?
Yeah. Yes, I did mention right in the beginning itself that, you have to understand the current processes, and work cell was one of them. So work cell is essentially a very logical and strategic arrangement of the resources in a business environment, which will include the people, machinery, and equipment. Okay. And work cells are based on the platform of lean manufacturing, and these work cells focus on the value creation for the end customer and reduction of wastage. So in short, if I put it in a very simple way, that a particular work area where I have to perform activities to manufacture something and add the value for the customer is what we define it as a work cell. It's a terminology used in the lean manufacturing.
Thank you, sir. The next question comes is, what is JIDOKA?
JIDOKA. So JIDOKA actually means, some kind of a automation with some human intelligence also. It's not a 100% standalone automation. It's a Japanese term. And an example of a JIDOKA would be that you have a automation which senses that something has gone wrong. There is a, let's say, quality of the product has deteriorated or it has deviated from the standards. And the moment it detects it, it stops the production line so that, you can then go out, find out that what has gone wrong and correct that particular product. So essentially, this is a system which will highlight the causes of problem, and it will immediately stop the work whenever a problem occurs. So that's the JIDOKA.
Thank you. The next question comes in. How do you standardize the work?
So standardized work, first of all, let's understand that refers to the a systematic identification and documentation of the work elements which go into performing any particular task and the sequence in which that particular operation has to be done. So normally we would carry out work studies, and we would also use there are standard operating procedures to identify the sequence of the steps and the processes and the work element, and then we standardize them. So we say that step number 1 happens, then the step number 2 happens. If something happens, then the step number 2 will go towards the step number 3, or otherwise it will move to step number 4. Okay, so we standardize this entire thing, and we also establish the norms that how it has to be done. We also establish any standards, which could be that it has to be done in a particular way with particular quality levels or certain parameters and so on, and also certain benchmarks, right? So that is what we do to define the standardized work. Now, when we take the lean, it is very important that we have the standardized work. Okay, if we don't have the standardized work, then people will bring in their own level of working, their own efficiency levels, and it will not streamline the operation. So that's why we standardize the work over there. And this also helps us to, establish certain monitors. It also helps us to establish, certain procedures by which we can ensure that everybody is performing in the same manner. So that's why we do the standardization of the work. And to do it, as I said, we will require the work studies, we will require the standard operating procedures, we will require the industry benchmarking, we will require certain standards published in the industry, and then establish that.
Thank you, sir. We have come to an end of this session. Most of the questions have been answered. So we just close the session. Thank you for such an informative presentation. Today's webinar briefly focused on the most important part of any manufacturing unit, that is shop floor. The proper management of shop floor plays a very important role, not only in achieving the desired or scheduled production plans, it also helps in reducing the wastage and thus adding to the bottom line. We briefly shared the best practices on shop floor management, elements of shop floor management, tools and methods used for shop floor management, and continuous improvements. And I'm sure the knowledge and experience shared by Atul sir would certainly help us in improving the way we manage our shop floor. I would like to share with you all that our next webinar will be held in the coming Friday, that is 31st of July, and the topic would be 7 QC tools. I take this opportunity to thank Atul sir for being with us and sharing his knowledge and experience. I take this opportunity to thank all the participants for being with us. And I also like to say sorry for being a little bit delayed in starting the session today due to some technical glitches. We thank all of you for being with us, and we look forward for such informative webinars in coming weeks. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Kishore.